Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to Talk Dirt to Me. My name is Sandra Graham. I am joined alongside my lovely co-host, as always, Mike Saunders.
What's up?
And today's guest is someone who's right in the thick of the action every single lap. He's the photographer behind the lens at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, capturing flying dirt, split-second moments that define dirt track racing. If you've ever felt the speed through a photo, chances are he took it. We're fired up to talk racing, the chaos of the dirt, and what it takes to get that incredible photo. I am proud to introduce the man behind it all, Brody Plotz.
Wow. Thanks for the intro. That was pretty incredible. Thanks for having me.
I was super busy at work today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. How do you feel to be on a podcast?
Pretty nervous, to be honest. I mean, I don't do this often, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, something new. You're not the only one that's nervous. I think we're nervous still, and every guest so far has been a little uncertain, so just part of it. All right. Are you ready to jump into this?
I'm ready.
Okay. So how did you get into photography?
Ooh, I got into photography back, I'd say probably 2012. It's funny, actually, my dad retired. He worked at Procter & Gamble, and his retirement gift was a camera. And he didn't put it to much use, so I started picking it up, just going on walks, taking photos, and that's kind of how it started. And it kind of snowballed from there.
Wow. And how long have you been doing it?
Like kind of going after this motorsports thing, it's been like 3-4 years, but before that I was doing like landscape photography, like just stuff out in the wild, kind of here and there just for fun.
Yeah. And is this your full-time job, or is this what you do for like a hobby?
No, this is strictly just like a side hustle hobby kind of thing, just for fun.
Yeah. Okay. And then what is your company called?
Ureshii Media.
And where did that come from?
Oh, so Ureshii was a name I came up with many years ago, and it actually translates to happy in Japanese. So my kind of mission with Ureshii Media was to just take photos of what made me happy, and turns out it was race cars.
Yeah. Okay. I think I pronounce it Ureshii.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
So I'm glad I heard that. I'm not fluent in Japanese, so that's good to hear you say it.
Yeah, a lot of people struggle in the pronunciation, and I don't know, I might even be wrong, but who knows?
And then when did you start capturing like dirt track racing?
So I started at the Boss. 2023 was my first full year as the track photographer, and I kind of landed that gig because Henry, the guy previous to me, had retired from it after doing it for many years, and I kind of took it into my own hands back in 2022. I reached out to the track one time. I saw the Empire Super Sprints were having a race. I think it was in September of 2022. And just a newbie with a camera, I just kind of wanted to see what it was about. So yeah, I messaged the track. They gave me permission to shoot that event. So I did that. And then I took those photos and sent them to the track as like kind of a portfolio of my work to kind of land the job in 2023.
Wow. And then, so I know there's other photographers there, but you are the only one that's like is it like the official photographer of the Brockville Speedway, or how does that work? Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes like certain weekends maybe I can't make it or something, there'll be someone else that will submit photos, and they just submit their photos to the track, and to Tim Baltz has press releases after each night kind of thing. So mainly that's my mission, is just to get those photos off to those people. But yeah, some days I can miss a weekend here or there doing something else.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's talk your process on race day. So do you kind of get into a routine of like certain things to do before you get there, during, and after?
I don't really have too big of a process ahead of time. I just like getting my stuff ready, making sure it's all there, cleaned. That's one thing, is I'm always in dusty environments, so my stuff gets dirty like every single weekend. So I'm cleaning it nonstop. Making sure my SD cards are there, my batteries are charged, stuff like that. Making sure I have snacks for the track. And then like once I get to the track, it's It's early day. Like I usually get there at least an hour before hot laps to wander around the pits, get some pitch shots here and there. And then throughout the night, I have to be there for every single race. Every single time there's a car on track, I got to take photos. So my night doesn't end until literally after the last race is done and everyone goes home.
Wow, that's a long day.
If you ever forget snacks, you can stop by the M16 trailer anytime. We got lots.
Yeah, I get offered a lot of snacks from everywhere. Sometimes I get offered dinner from certain trailers. It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah. And then what would you say, what's unique about the mini stock community compared to all of the other racing divisions?
I think that it's surprising to me how close knit the mini stock community is. I mean, everyone seems to be good friends with each other. And I mean, you get that elsewhere too, but elsewhere there's a lot more competition, a lot more headbutting, that kind of thing. Although, like, the mini stocks are very competitive, but you guys race clean and you're very respectful for each other, and I respect that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like said this before, but like everyone in our track seems to get along pretty good. It's just the other couple tracks I've been to. I've like exactly like you said, like they are. I'm not saying they're disrespectful, but it seems a little more like you're going against the other guy. You're going out with the other guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what would you say is so far the wildest moment you've ever captured on camera?
Oh, I mean, flips are pretty crazy to capture. But speaking of wild moments while holding my camera at a racetrack, I'll kind of just mention this story that I had at Weedsport this past year. I was shooting the World of Outlaws, and during time trials, they actually let you get pretty close to the track because it's only one car on track. It's not a race, so there's not likely to be flips and stuff. And I was sitting inside turn 3 right at the barrier, like right at the concrete barrier. Cars are going by like literally an arm length away from me. And Connor Morell was doing his time trial lap and he kind of messed up the entry into turn 3, came down really low, got really close to me, like right along the concrete barrier. And there was a puddle of water that kind of came down the track and sat there and he splashed me with the water. So that was kind of eye-opening, like just how real it is, like how close you are.
Yeah, you know you're getting close when you're getting splashed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would imagine too, because you have your camera up to your eye, like you're not watching for the cars coming, right? Like you're only
Yeah,
looking straight ahead almost.
yeah, so that's kind of difficult. Like you kind of have to have both eyes open at the same time because you got to look out for, safety threats. I mean, accidents happen and you kind of got to be aware of it. So you almost have to have eyes in the back of your head and always looking out everywhere to make sure there's nothing happening around you.
Yeah, because I think it's Mohawk. They don't have many concrete barriers, and there's some photographers that stand right on the edge, and there's nothing between them and the cars. I'm always sitting there watching, like I don't know how they handle that. Like I would be so uncomfortable. But
Yeah, it's pretty scary. I mean, it's cool though whenever I do get to go to a track where we can be like right on the infield, right close to the cars, because I don't know, it gives a cool perspective, but also it gets your adrenaline pumping a lot whenever the cars are that close running hot laps, It's cool.
absolutely. And then my next question is, have you ever gotten too close to the action? So I guess we just,
Yeah.
I guess we just covered that one. And
Yeah.
then more risks that would be involved in motorsports photography besides being that close to the track. Like what else do you deal with on a race day?
Yeah, so yeah, of course, being close to the track, like dirt and debris always come off of race cars, especially when I'm standing outside the track. I have a couple crazy incidents that have happened to me. A rock came off of a car and hit the end of my lens and broke. Actually, I had a filter on the end of my lens, thank goodness, because it broke the filter, didn't break my lens, but that was pretty scary. I've taken like little pebbles off the head or off the face, dirt to the face. So yeah, you get very dirty and there's a lot of projectiles, so it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
But another risk too, like just being in the environment of a dirt track, is the dust. And dust is not good for cameras. Like cameras aren't meant to be in environments like that. So, I mean, you got to be on top of cleaning it and maintaining it because it can get pretty tough to manage if it starts getting caked up too much.
Yeah.
I remember actually took a photography class in high school. I remember them talking about that. Like when you take the lens itself off, there's like I forget what the words are now, but like the shutter inside and stuff, and like you got to keep that like clean.
Yeah, the sensor. And that's kind of a thing that I battle too at the track because I only have the one camera and I have multiple different lenses I use for different scenarios. So unfortunately, there are times where I have to take the lens off and switch it with a different lens. And it's not ideal because I'm opening up that sensor to be vulnerable to dust and stuff. But
Yeah.
eventually down the road, I want to get a second camera to kind of minimize that.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine, especially on like the really dry nights, how much dust gets thrown around, and you'd be constantly cleaning it and brushing and.
Yeah. Sometimes the thing too with too much dust is if I'm using a flash, it absolutely kills the photos because the light that comes off the flash hits the dust and reflects back. So it kind of gives this weird effect like it's snowing.
Hmm.
And then sometimes at the same time, it's too dark out to not use the flash. So yeah, shooting at nighttime in dusty environments can be tricky sometimes.
You couldn't really slow the shutter speed down much, or just be a blur because they're race cars, right, going by quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool to have slow shutter, but a lot of what I do, I want to keep the car in focus and crisp if I can.
Some of my favorite pictures from this year. I know you got you got a really good one of my cousin in the 71, but going by like the flag stand, and I guess you were like moving the camera following him, maybe with a little bit of a slower shutter on it, and it
Yeah.
looked like he was going like 200 miles an hour down the. It was like I saved that picture and sent it to him. Like, this is one of the coolest pictures of your car I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's cool with all the blur that you get in
Yeah.
the background with the people in the stands and the different colors and stuff. It can make for a really cool effect.
Yeah, I always remember that picture.
That's the picture I put in his
Yep.
video. Yeah. Yeah, it is a really good one. Okay, the next chunk of questions I have are all rapid fire questions. So, yeah, just I'll ask, you just throw out your answer. So day race or night race?
Oh, night race.
Okay. Favorite corner of the track?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd probably say turn 3 and 4, especially if there's like a sunset in the background.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Dirt on the lens. Do you panic or power through?
Power through. I always got cleaning wipes on me.
Would you rather capture crew reactions or driver reactions?
I'd like both, but I tend to go for drivers because they're kind of the main figure, and to capture them is ideal.
Yep. How many photos do you leave a race with?
Usually about 1,000, but depends on how long the night is and how many classes there are.
Okay. Very last thing you do before the green flag.
Make sure I got my settings right.
Is there a shot that you chase every weekend?
Sunsets usually, or just trying to get a angle of a car that is pretty clean with like not a busy background.
Okay. One word to describe mini stock racing.
Competitive. Even though I said that it wasn't competitive apparently earlier, it is. You guys race like side by side, lap after lap, and that's awesome to see.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite sound at the track?
Race cars, probably like a 358 mod when they fire up.
We agree on that.
Yeah. Do you have any missed shots that still haunt you?
Oh, pretty much every time I try and capture something and it might not be in focus or something. So yeah, that happens quite often.
Yeah, that'd be frustrating, I guess, too, eh? Like just the thought of like, oh, like that would have been perfect.
Yeah, and sometimes you get the one that's in focus, but the composition might not be right or something else might not be perfect. So
No, those were good questions. What was I going to say to you? How long does it take you to edit? So if you walk away from the track with 1,000 pictures, because I know you won't post all of them, but how long will you sit down and edit photos for?
yeah, so typically my whole Sunday is that, unless for some reason I have like plans on a Sunday, then it gets pushed into the evenings after work and whatnot. But it's actually quite a lot of work, and I dumb it down from like say 1,000 photos to I try and aim for around 100, but I crop and edit, and adds up time. So it's usually probably like 8 hours, sometimes maybe more, sometimes less.
Mm-hmm.
Something I like about your pictures that I find stands out is like, especially like when when you post your Facebook thing, you put like a couple of the ones you like or whatever, and you open it up. Like I find the first 10 photos you have are almost of like I've seen them of the water truck or like the flag man or like the prep the trek. Oh my god, the track prep or like something that's like even like it's not a picture of my car, but I still like to hang on to those pictures just because they're like such a nice picture of the track or like almost like they could be like printed and put on your wall.
Yeah, I like those photos too. Those are like kind of storyline photos, what I
Yeah.
kind of call them. Like they tell the story of the racetrack rather than just the same photo and the same angle of different cars over and over again. I like to have variety and kind of mix it up and make it interesting.
Yeah, I noticed some of them you do color, some of them do kind of black and white, some like you know what I mean? Like you such a variety of like really cool
Mhm.
pictures and like I know I've got a couple I had saved to my phone from the season that were just like I said of the flag guy or something. They were sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Next question for you. Would you ever get behind the wheel and race?
I've wanted to really bad when I was younger, but like nowadays, I understand just how much money is involved with it. So I don't think I can justify it, especially with how much money I have in camera gear. So I'll stick to the camera stuff, but I do like to race at home. I have a sim, so I'm kind of racing here and there and still getting that itch,
Yeah.
scratching that itch.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to join the iRacing leagues with these guys if you
Yeah.
haven't yet. Uh, what would you change about racing?
So I put this down for you to talk about, and I think the one thing is probably the long nights. Like sometimes, like when we have 6 classes and it drags on and drags on. I mean, it gets pretty tiring for me because I'm at the track at like say 4 o'clock, and I don't want to be going until 1, 2 a.m. kind of thing
Yeah.
and trying to always be focused and energized to take photos and be aware of your surroundings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd probably be the long nights that I wish that we could kind of condense it somehow or maybe have bigger, like the big events are good because they kind of go quickly. I like that. But yeah, it'd probably be the long nights.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because even for a guy like me who's just doing it on his own, like getting guys to come help me is hard because like for them, like we leave here at 2 in the afternoon and we're not back till midnight. So like for them and
Mhm.
especially like they're not racing, they're just there to help me. It's difficult to be like, hey, you want to blow your whole Saturday and just come make sure I don't blow a tire or something. Like it is
Yeah.
a very long day for people for sure, especially like if you're not racing.
Yeah. Especially on like a weekend or something too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And are you there? Because I only see you obviously when we're there with like the mini stocks, but are you there every single weekend?
Yeah. I think I missed one weekend this past year and that was it.
Wow. Because that is a lot. Because like even I find like when Mike goes out, he goes out for hot laps, his heats, and then the feature. So he's out there 3 times, and we get a break between, and I still find it a long day. So
Yeah.
that's a job on your
I
feet.
wish I could have a break.
That's what I mean. Like you're standing out there, and like they just keep rolling, so you wouldn't get many breaks at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
My break is the intermission track prep for however long that may be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Um, all right. What do you try to capture beyond just the cars and the crews and the fans? Is there anything else that you try and get?
I try and go for a little bit of everything. Like some of my photos are just pictures of dirt. Like
Mm-hmm.
I try and get anything and everything. I have photos of the tractor tires infield, like things that you see around a dirt track that kind of tell the story and that people can understand and familiarize themselves with, like things like that. I like telling the story.
Yeah. And then what do you think, or what would you say makes a photo great and not just good?
I would say composition and crop. I'm big on kind of where things are in a picture and how it's composed. I'm big on that, so I like to perfect that.
Hmm.
That would be my answer.
Yeah, because I noticed too, Mike's Heat when you weren't there that night, and it was another company, and you can tell because you placed the cars very specifically for those checkered flag pictures it's
Mhm.
great. And Mike's is still really good too, but you can tell that you've got your spot and you know exactly almost like where the sun's going to be, where like the stand is, where you want to position the car. So they're very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I got the settings locked in my memory for the heat wind photos.
And then what was your made it moment?
Oh, so this was a good one. I couldn't really think of it. I thought of it might have been just what happened to me the other day because I got a friend request on Facebook from the legend Glenn Stiers. So I think that was pretty cool, to be honest. But I'd say my made it moment is probably just having companies like Dirt Vision or David Gravel Racing, like big names using my photos. I think that's pretty surreal to me.
Yeah, well, they're wicked photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
something
I
to
know
be proud of.
all the guys. Well, I know that all the guys too. Mini stocks were all like Sunday, Monday, just hanging around waiting, like when are the pictures gonna drop.
And even when they do drop, then like all the group chats are going off and people are getting tagged and it's like, oh, pictures are out. Like everything stops.
Yeah. And I try and get photos of everybody, but like I said, like if we're doing 6 classes or something and there's hundreds of cars, it's hard to dumb it down to like just 100 photos, you know? I want to get a photo of every car, but it's also a lot of work.
Yeah, and also trying to remember what cars you took pictures of and which ones you didn't, I'm sure is not easy to do.
That's an impossible task. I just basically take a photo of everything, and whenever I'm going through on my computer, I just say, yep, that's a good photo, and I pick out certain ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen your photos help a driver gain any recognition or sponsors?
I have not seen that. No.
All right, maybe that's.
But I'm sure people use my photos to gain sponsors or to pitch companies or whatever, like stuff like that.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the thing is like even when we like just the other day we were talking about sponsors and it's like you go back through mostly your photos of like, okay, which ones can we grab from the track with the good lighting that show the sponsors really well. So I know we use them. Is there a photo you're most proud of?
Oh, I'd say that one sunset photo I took at Brockville. I think it was in 2024. Coming down the front stretch, taking the green. I think it was one of those early nights where we started an hour earlier, so we had the sunset at the start of the Sportsman feature. Yeah, and I got it in the background.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's such cool ones of like you said, like down the straightaway, but it's almost not like you're not taking a picture of like a particular car. It just looks like I don't know how like the photography words to explain it, but like you said, almost like a storyline of just like there's such cool pictures like that.
Yeah, taking the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else here? Or have you taken any photos that were actually complete accidents but turned out pretty great?
Yeah, I kind of like sometimes if there's an accident or some big flip. I know for example, last year was Bobby Harrington's flip in the Dutchman dash that we had. I remember I kind of actually took the camera down and just sprayed and prayed basically with my camera. And as I had my eyes just watching what was happening, and I got the shot.
Yeah. And then what else? Let me just look at my list here. How do you actually handle selling photos to the drivers or the teams or the tracks? Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so I always urge people, like if they're after a photo to print, like to do a print or canvas or anything like that, like reach out to me because the photos that I have online that people screenshot and download or whatever, they're not the full quality. So if you want a large photo printed, like contact me because that's the one thing that I'm really picky on is like my prints. Like I don't want to see a poor image printed. I'd rather see a quality image printed. So, I mean, I'll sell photos for cheap. That's fine. But just, yeah, do that.
Yeah, then especially like if you're blowing it up, put it on the wall, it doesn't look the same as on your phone, right? So if you send them like the real full resolution one, it would make for such a better picture of
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I know if people have printed my stuff that have taken it from a screenshot on my website and it just doesn't look as good. So yeah, I always urge people like contact me, get the full resolution file and print it and you'll be much happier.
For sure.
And then how do you want to be contacted? Is Facebook kind of the easiest if they track you down there?
Yeah, just message me on Facebook or whatever.
Okay. Let's talk pet peeves. What are your biggest pet peeves when you're at the track?
One thing I've heard before is, oh, your camera takes good photos. Like, it's not my camera that takes the photos. I take the photos with the camera. So that's probably a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of skill behind holding that camera.
Hmm.
And then AI. So AI is wild, and it's crazy what you can make in like just online these days. So have you noticed a big difference with AI and how popular it is now with photos?
Yeah, so I actually use AI in certain circumstances with my photos. There's a cool feature in Lightroom that's called denoise, and what it does is take the noise and the grain of an image and it kind of flattens it out, will sharpen it up, but it uses AI to do that, so it ends up having a much better effect and it looks way better. Now, with that said, there's some things with AI that I don't really like. And I've seen it a lot lately is people uploading their photos or well, my photos of their car to an AI program and it spits it out in some kind of rendering, but it completely messes up every single logo that's on the car.
Yeah.
Including if I have a watermark in the photo, it'll mess that up too. So that's one thing about AI that I don't like and don't approve of. So I mean, people are going to do it anyways, so I guess I can't really tell them no. But yeah, just be mindful of the logos and how AI has an impact on things like that.
I know, like I think it depends sometimes too on the program you're using. Like actually like actively try not to use AI, but like I've tried it in like Facebook Messenger, and it will like that compared to Chat GPT or whatever. Like sometimes like one will always change the logo, and the other one seems to keep it pretty close. Like I know I just made the cartoon versions. I think it actually shows your like Ureshii Media like perfectly in the bottom, but I know other programs mess it up.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with like copyrights
Yeah,
and licensing and stuff like that. That's why AI is designed to not produce logos
yeah,
proper, I guess.
slightly misspell words or something.
Yeah,
Mhm. All right, you ready for some Facebook questions?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna jump in with one first before my
Oh,
own question.
all right.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate Ryland Banks as a male model?
Oh, 11.
I was
Easy,
jealous.
easy 11.
He always gets the sexy pick.
Hottest mini stock driver.
Yeah.
It's funny. I thought of Rylan today because I was like, he's been quiet now that he's moved up to sportsman. Like he's
Too good
just
for us.
he's too good. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you get him on. Like, especially after he gets some seat time in the sportsman, it'd be cool to get him on the pod and then he can kind of talk about the differences. It'd be cool.
For sure. I'm sure all of our guys would like who've never driven would like to know like so because like a lot of people tell us like that it's easier to drive that, and I'm like, there's no way it is. But they're like, well, no, because it's only set up to do like the one like that car was made to go left, whereas like the mini stocks are made to drive on the street. So obviously, I'm sure it's
Yeah,
not that easy, but they say that once you figure it out, they drive themselves pretty well.
yeah, I've heard they have like a ton of grip and you can just kind of set it in the corner and you're set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead with the Facebook
That's what I was
questions
gonna
now. I
say,
just wanted to get that out of the way so no one beat me to it.
All right. Courtney Young is asking, who is your favorite driver at the Brockville Speedway?
Oh, at Brockville, I won't pick a favorite. Just it's a little conflict of interest. I mean, I kind of root for all local drivers and hope they all do well and good things happen to them. That's just kind of me. But if we're broadening it out to like favorite driver overall, currently I think it's Buddy Kofoid.
Okay. I was kind of expecting a Ryland Banks answer there. But
Yeah, right.
all right. Jamie LaRock is asking your favorite class to take pictures of.
Oh, I'm kind of leaning towards late models recently. I think while they look so skewed and weird, there's like certain angles that make them look really good. So they're kind of fun to shoot. Sprint cars are fun to shoot, obviously. They just have so much speed and they fly into corners so fast. But yeah, I'll take photos of anything.
Yeah. Are you gonna talk about your?
I just started watching late model racing more and more lately, and they are really cool because I've never been to a track that regularly runs them. Well, I think or I've seen them a couple times at Brighton, but the more I watch them, the more I'm starting to really like them.
Yeah, and like super late models, I did 2 shows last year of super late models, and it was insane just being close to the track and seeing how fast they go around the track, and especially entering corners and setting their cars. It's like they're fast and they're heavier too, so it's good
Yeah,
racing.
Mhm. Zach Lynch, he asked a question that we already covered. He just wanted to know how you got into photography. So we covered that one off. And then Matt Bowl is asking, so you did talk about your favorite picture being the sunset down the straightaway, but is there any, he's asking just your personal favorite photo, but is there another one that you have that's a fave?
I'd probably say that one that we were talking about earlier is probably my ultimate favorite, but I don't know. I get a few good photos every time I'm at a track, so it always changes. I always have new and exciting photos that I like.
Mm-hmm. And then what is your favorite track to go to and capture photos of?
Favorite track right now is probably Oshweek Speedway. Whenever they have sprint cars there, it's just like the racing's insane. The track and the facility is nice, and yeah, it's probably one of my biggest recommendations. Everyone goes to Oshweek Speedway sometime.
Mhm. So how many tracks do you go to take pictures?
I think this past year was around 13 different tracks, I believe, but
wow.
it's mostly locally, and then sometimes I'll travel down to Pennsylvania or something for big sprint car events in the fall.
Well, I got a question. There's a track I've been eyeing up just to go watch at, and you mentioned you were there, Weed Sport. Can you tell us about that? Like, it looks like I've only like watched it on TV and stuff. It looks like a pretty cool place to go too.
Yeah, the facility is literally top tier,
Yeah,
for sure. Now, I've raced Weed Sport on iRacing and games and stuff like that, and I'm not a fan of the track layout as a driver.
yeah,
It's very like D-shaped, and it's not for me as a driver. But I mean, it also gets you get some cool opportunities. Like I think it was 2 years ago when the Outlaws were there. I got photos of Danny Varon. He slid turn one up into the wall, collected the wall, and then flipped. And I got photos of him flipping on the wall. But whenever the sprint cars are time trialing there, they diamond one and go right into the wall at two.
yeah.
So you're almost guaranteed to see a flip right there. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
And where is that track?
Just a couple hours south of us, near Syracuse.
Okay.
They don't they don't race every week, right? They kind of like when I looked because I remember looking for tickets before to see what nights they ran, but it was almost like here and there the schedule.
I'm I'm not sure if they run weekly. I'm guessing not if you checked, but I've only ever been there for the Outlaws. But I know Super Dirt Car goes there, and they have some big events.
Okay.
And how often would you capture asphalt?
I've done asphalt about once a year, and it's usually Oswego Speedway for their Fall Classic, which is their big race they have early September, Labor Day weekend area. For super modifieds, my buddy Logan, who's actually from Brockville, Logan Ravels, he races down there. So I like to get to Oswego at least once and get photos of his car.
Yeah, me and my dad try to go there once a year too. We'll do like Can-Am on Friday night, then we always go to Oswego Saturday. It's really cool to see something different too.
Yeah, and super modifieds are really fast. Like when you see them in person and you're up close, they're next level fast. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
I don't know if you got a chance to like sit up in this. I don't know if you're taking pictures or not, but like if you sit up in the stands there, like your eyes are burning, and they call it the Steel Palace, but it's got that roof over top, and I know like the sound, the smell, like everything is crazy at Oswego.
Yeah, I've only been on the backstretch grandstand, but I heard on the front stretch grandstand, if you're sitting up there, like yeah, you start feeling kind of sick because all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuel and stuff.
yeah.
All right, so we talked favorite track. We did talk favorite class to capture. You said late models. What about your favorite group of drivers? Like when you're walking around the pits, do you kind of notice or feel, I guess, a difference when you're kind of going? Because I guess everyone kind of parks together, right?
Yeah. Everyone's kind of the same. They all got their groups kind of thing. I think for me though, like the modified drivers, they have a lot of respect for each other. They're always picking each other's brains. That's kind of cool to see in the pits.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then what about your bucket list tracks? Any tracks that you really want to get to?
I want to do Charlotte really bad for the World Finals. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, you get to see the super late models, the sprint cars, and the big blocks all at one race, or at one track. So that's pretty cool. I'd like to do that someday.
I tried to convince Mike to take me there this year, but I got a no.
She tried to convince me like 2 days before the race.
Yeah, I was like, that looks friggin' awesome. So that would be really neat to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other events you want to shoot? I guess Charlotte's one of them, but
there's a lot. Like I have a full list of everything I want to do next year. It's gonna have more late model stuff and in May and a lot of different trips. I'm looking forward to it. A couple things I'm looking forward to also is I'm going to a NASCAR race down at Charlotte for the Coke 600.
Nice.
Probably not going to be photographing it, more so just going for the race and going to check out the race shops and stuff like that because after all, I'm a race fan first, so that would be pretty cool to do.
That's what I was gonna say. It might also be better just to leave your camera at home, and just go enjoy that, because I know, like I said, you're watching racing every week, but it's also hard when you're working and you're kind of watching it through the camera. So it'd be good to just go enjoy a NASCAR race. It's something else for sure.
Yeah, it's nice to just buy a general admission ticket and watch a race every once in a while. I did that at Mohawk once last year, and I had a lot of fun doing it, but I was also kind of bummed that I didn't go home with any cool photos from the night, though.
I think we saw you there that night. Was that autograph night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a fun night. That was a lot of cars. All right, so that's all I have other than your 2026 plans. So what can fans expect from you this year?
A lot of racing. That's pretty much a guarantee. But I got some news I'm going to drop on the pod right now for you guys.
Ooh.
I've got some custom Ureshii Media rope hats coming in. Nobody knows of this yet until now, but I'm going to be selling them this year. I'm probably going to host a giveaway at some point, offer some photo packages for some drivers, and give away some hats in the same go. So, people can look forward to having Ureshii Media hats and supporting me that way in 2026.
Mark me down for one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I also noticed that the night in Mohawk, you had a really nice sweater on. I don't know if you're ordering any more of those, but we would take some of those as well.
Yeah, I've been asked a lot for more merch, and I want to do more merch. It's kind of tough to do, though, because you have limited sizing and getting pre-orders in, and then you get people that don't get in on the pre-order. So I don't know. Merch is kind of going to be on the sideline for now. It's going to be hats this year. Maybe I'll look into merch in the fall or next year. We'll see.
Well, we will take hats for sure.
That's awesome. Like I said, I like supporting anyone at the track, but I'd rock that hat for sure. That sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, Brody, do you have anything else? Anything else you want?
I got one question for Mike, actually.
Oh, yes.
If you were ever to drive anything else, what would you want to drive?
Tough question. I'm just happy to be out there at anything, to be honest, no matter what it is. But I know it would depend too. Like I wouldn't take anything out there like in a race, like first time. Like I know there's been guys that have kind of mentioned like, oh, like you should take my Sportsman out and test and tune or something. But it's like I would try it if there was no other cars on the track, especially when it's not my race car. But I feel like a rear wheel drive car would be much better for me. Growing up, all my faster cars will say were like rear wheel drive muscle cars. All the iRacing, everything I do is rear wheel drive. So front wheel drive is actually like not my thing. So I think it'd be really cool to. I really like those. We saw them at Cornwall. What were those mini mods or the not the lightning sprints, but they were like
mod lights or
mod lights.
That's it. Yeah, those were really cool. I know a couple guys at the track were like saying like if they ever brought those to Brockville, it'd be hard to stay in mini stock.
Kind of a mix between like a modified chassis and like a go-kart.
Yeah, like it almost reminds me of like a dirt legend with like a different body on it, but I think those would be pretty cool. Like obviously, like a modified would be the top car to get to, but I'm not. I know I'm not Kyle Larson. I can't just jump into one of those. So, but it'd be cool to drive anything with those like sportsman modified chassis with a rear wheel drive. I think I'd really enjoy that.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, if I ever got the opportunity to hot lap a sportsman or something, I would. It'd be fun, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't race it.
Yeah. So I mean, especially like we're hard enough working on your own stuff, let alone fixing someone else's car that you messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let alone the money.
Yeah, well, for sure. You I noticed the other day, I was on your website, and you do a lot more than just motorsports photos. Maybe just tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about like other things that you shoot.
Yeah, so I picked up hockey photography lately. I'm kind of affiliated with this senior hockey team out of Westport, the Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
It's kind of been it's been a lot of fun taking photos of hockey. I've been a hockey fanatic since I was very young, so naturally in a rink, I'm just in my place. But I will say hockey is the toughest thing I've ever photographed. Much harder than racing. And but I like the challenge, so I'll keep doing it.
I don't know if like at the local rinks would have it, but we were at the Sens game last week. I haven't been to much hockey lately, but I noticed the guy that was taking the pictures, there was like a little glass hole, but then he had like a piece of glass that when the play came, he would like slide in front of the little hole where he puts his lens through, and then he'd slide it back, and it looked like I don't know, it looked, it looked like it was not a fun job for him because like every time the puck came over, he's like ripping his camera down. I'm like, is he like the odds of that going through? I'm sure aren't very high, but he said he had his hands full trying to take pictures, cover the hole, like and like trying to not have the glass in the way of your picture, right?
Yeah, a lot of multitasking, let alone you probably have fans that are swarming around you just trying to get closer to the action too. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine doing that. It'd be
Yeah.
pretty stressful.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have. Mike, do you have anything else for him?
No, I really appreciate you coming on. And I know like a lot of like everyone in at the track, I'm sure drivers in all divisions, like especially mini stock, we always look forward to your pictures. We're always saving them, and all of the photographers really like we really appreciate you guys. I know it's a lot of work, and you said like you wasted or not wasted. You spent your whole day Saturday at the track, and then Sunday 8 hours like doing your editing. It doesn't go unnoticed. We really and those pictures mean a lot to us.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate you guys having me on and having this platform for drivers and other people like myself to kind of speak out on the sport. And I think the more media involvement we have in regards to our sport, it's only going to help it grow. So anything that happens locally is a huge plus. And I think what you guys are doing is awesome.
We appreciate that. Like I said, we're just kind of doing it for fun, but it's nice to hear different people's perspectives. And like, especially when like Sandra said that she spoke to you, I'm like, that's really cool. Like to talk to someone that's not on the track or like in the car, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you'd actually
Yeah.
take a step back and like a bigger look at the whole show.
Yeah.
So the drivers want to get a different perspective from me, but I'd like to be a driver in the seat racing.
Yeah, and like every time I talked to one of the guys about who do you want to see on here, it was definitely your name popped up. So they're looking forward to listening to this.
You got to try and get Tim Baltz on here next.
He's on here tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous for that. Like I said, I'm not nervous, but like I know I talked to Tim. He's so good to me and polite and nice, and he's always like. I remember I was walking through the stands at Can-Am, and he was talking about me on the microphone. A really cool guy, but I know that he knows so much about racing, and he's like he's a chat GPT himself. Like you just ask him anything, but like, he knows so much. I'm not even sure what to ask him tomorrow. It's like, where do you start?
Yeah, my plan is just to introduce him and just let him go.
Yeah, he's like an encyclopedia. He's so well spoken to. He would probably just talk for hours and spew a bunch of knowledge, and it'd be awesome. I'd look forward to listening to that one.
Yeah, I think he's going to teach us a thing or two, probably about radio talk as well. So he's he's an awesome guy, Tim. Looking forward to that too.
Yeah, but I do think we are booked for the next, I want to say 4 weeks. Like there's a lot of guys coming on here, so it's gonna be good.
Like I said, it's cool to have like if we like not just doing just mini stock drivers, hearing from you, from Tim. I think David Smith is also going to come on here. There's a couple other people that like cool for us too to hear from.
Yeah.
Yeah, super, super cool what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, and we do really appreciate your time. So it does, like Mike said, your photos don't go unnoticed. This doesn't go unnoticed. So we do really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
All right. Well, that is it. Thank you very much. Like we just talked about, Tim Baltz is on tomorrow. I said everyone's name correctly tonight, so
Nailed it.
gold star there. Thank you again, Brody. I really appreciate it. Mike,
Yes.
thank you.
Thanks a lot, Brody.
Thank you guys.
Well, there you have it. There's Brody Plotz with Ureshii Media. Thank you for correcting my pronunciation on that. Tomorrow we're going to have Turbo Tim Baltz on the show, the human encyclopedia and the voice of the Brockville, Ontario Speedway and Can-Am Speedway on Friday nights.
I'm excited. I actually can't wait. So thank you again, Brody. We really appreciate it. And yeah, have a great night.
Good